I believe that this is why we should.
If you look into the situation right now, but here's the thing.
Okay?
The University of Santo Tomas has always been home to students driven by curiosity, dedication, and truth. Every issue is followed by a crowd of students trying to share their opinions and solve these problems on their own. And right here, it is your chance to let your voices be heard as we create discussions out of your opinions. I am Michelle Gudugdug. Raise a point, take a stand, listen, and be open. This is Point Taken, the finale. Student organizations are often a big part of a Timashan's life. These cover a variety of fields and interests and aim to improve students' individual potentials and mold them into better people. But what happens when these organizations become more like competitors rather than avenues for growth? Are rivalries meant to push us to do better, or do they hinder us from achieving our goals? We want to know your thoughts. Like us on Facebook, that's facebook.com/CosmicProdUSD, and follow us on Twitter at CosmicProdTV and use the hashtag PointTakenUSD. Good day, Timashans. Here with us today are the heads of different university-wide student organizations. We have Angelique Cantillana, of course, managing editor of the Varsitarian, Mayrel Victoria Villa, Chief Communications Officer of the Timashan Cable Television, and Xavier Gregorio, Editor-in-Chief of Tomasino.
Good afternoon.
So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, glad to be here actually.
Yes, that's great. So to begin our discussion for today, we will be having a word association. In just a few moments, a word will flash on that screen, and one by one, you will have to respond with the first word that pops into your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for Uno por Uno. So again, ulitin po natin, may word tayo for today, and you would have to say the first word that pops into your mind. Our first word, or our word for today, is rivalry. Rivalry in the context of student organizations in the university, especially media organizations. We have Varsitarian, Tomcat, and Tommed. Angeli, let's start with you.
So, the first word is standards. So, yun yung brighter side siguro ng rivalry na hindi lang away or hindi naman talaga away, pero parang dahil merong rivalry, it's a good thing na hinihila tayo ng mga kinokoy natin as rivals para maging better ganyan, as an organization.
Okay, so rivalry and standards. How about you, Mayrel?
For me, misconception. Because ang pinagmumulan ng mga rivalries na yan ay misconceptions about two or more organizations. Siguro, nagkakaroon din ng misunderstanding dun sa kung ano talaga yung job nila, and so people take them as rivals.
And you, Save?
For me, the concept of a rivalry between the media orgs dito sa UST is stupid. Kasi I don't think that a rivalry exists, but rather a competition. Gaya nga na sinabi ni Angeli kanina na it's good na we have this healthy competition. It fosters growth within the organizations, and also pwede din itong mag-stem from a misconception. Gaya nga na sabi ni Miss Mayrel.
Ayan. So, thank you so much for your answers, guys. Maganda nakikita natin na mukhang iisa yung punto niyo sa word ni rivalry, pero makikita natin kung magbabago pa yan. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions with us, and it was great to hear what all of you had to say. Because being involved in student organizations is not as simple as we may think. Misunderstandings are inevitable, and a lack of responsibility may turn these misunderstandings into conflicts. This is why it is crucial to tackle this issue at the grassroots level. As you can see, it only takes one word to trigger a variety of opinions and create a worthwhile discussion. Now that we have heard the arguments of our three guests, we will now take a short break, but when we come back, more points on rivalry and student organizations will be raised here on Point Taken. welcome back to Point Taken. Before the break, our guests let us know what they associated with the word rivalry in the context of student organizations and how it affects Themasians. So Angeli here said that rivalry, the word is standards. Myrel, sabi naman niya misconceptions. And of course, Save, sabi niya ay
Stupid.
stupid. So to take this discussion even further, we presented the same word to selected students, similar to what we did with our guests. But instead of responding with only one word, they each responded with intellectual questions to be answered by our guests today. So ngayon, makikita po natin mamaya may isa-isang katanungan na pwede niyong sagutin at pwede po kayong mag-exchange ng inyong mga opinions. Dahil dyan, it is now time for Focal Point. With an issue as big as the word rivalry, we want to know the thoughts of other Themasians. Good thing Ruth Sermonia has helped us look for those Themasians who have the questions for our guests today. Here is the first question.
Hello, Themasians! I am Ruth Sermonia, and I am here at Plaza Mayor, where I'll be asking our fellow students to formulate questions involving rivalry in the context of organizations. So we have here a Themasian who has a question for our guests. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Eliza Banag from College of Architecture.
So Eliza, ano yung question mo?
Do you think the rivalry limits people more than helping them gain advantages?
Thank you. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Ruth. And of course, that was Eliza from the College of Architecture. So guys, do you think that rivalry limits people rather than helping them gain advantages?
No.
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 Ayun, agree kami lahat.
I agree. Pero bakit no?
Okay. Ako, first of all, para sa akin, wala naman talagang negative na rivalry. Para sa akin, yung rivalry is all positive. Kasi nga, yun nga, yung kagaya na sabi ko kanina, natutulungan tayong, it's either ibe-break natin yung standard na meron tayo or ibe-break natin yung standard na meron sila na para-pareho lang naman yung nakikinabang. It's the Thomasian community. So yun, minsan may misconception, pero yun, parang all positive para sa akin, rivalry.
Good point, Angeli. Myrel?
Feeling ko hindi talaga siya nanglilimit ng people inside the organization na involved dun sa rivalry. Kasi yun yung pinaka magpupush dun sa respective organizations na maging better dun sa sarili nilang ginagawa. Not naman na kailangan na maging better than the other.
Okay, Save?
I mean, in the first place kasi, when it comes to media organizations, kahit naman in the real field na hindi mo talaga maiiwasan yung competition or rivalry. It's necessary kasi if media orgs do not compete anymore, dalawa lang masasacrifice dyan. That is your speed and your accuracy and your content din. Kasi kung hindi kayo naghihigitan sa inyong mga content, walang mangyayari. At it would be a great disservice to the community that you're serving.
So I guess for you guys, it's a balance na mayroong rivalry. Yan, maganda yan. Pero mukhang marami pang gustong malaman ng ating mga Themasians. Let's listen to the second question.
So we have here a Thomasian who has a question for our guests. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Alexis Villanueva of AMV COA.
Hi Alexis, ano yung question mo?
So my question is, can you say stereotyping plays a big role with each of the org's relationships?
Thank you. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you again, Ruth. So that was Alexis from the AMV College of Accountancy. Do you think that stereotyping plays a big role with the organization's relationships?
No din ulit?
No.
No. Why? Kahit
Yes.
nasabihin
Yes.
natin na...
Hindi.
Yes. Okay, may nag-yes na dito nag-yes si Angeli. Bakit, Angeli?
So sa akin, yes, kasi ito, yung perception sa the varsitarian, puro journey majors and yung parang 87 years, so ilang dekada na tayo. Ganun, pero parang yes, kasi parang ang nagiging negative in a way para sa perception ng audience kasi parang tingin nila varsity ang taas. So kaya ganun yung ngayon yung varsity, 'di ba, nagiging active na kami online. So yun yung ginagawa namin na parang hindi naman sa alisan yung quality but somehow in any way parang imit kung ano yung gusto ng Thomasians para makita kami ng Thomasians hindi lang basta 87 years, hindi lang dahil journey majors kami at basta dahil rin parang students din kami, parang ganun.
Yes. Okay, Mayrel?
Sa Tomcat naman, ang stereotype kasi is AB students, more specifically communication arts students. But I don't think it really plays a big role in our organization, lalo na sa individual members ng organization. Kasi wala lang, stereotype lang siya eh. I mean, you still do what you have to do. You do your work na kahit hindi ka naman AB Communication Arts student, kaya mo siyang gawin. Lalo na netong past few years, yun yung tinatry namin ipakita sa non-members na pwede kayong sumali kahit hindi kayo AB, kahit hindi kayo Com Arts.
Does the same thing happen to Tomasino website?
Well, kasi when it comes to that question, no, I don't think that stereotypes actually affect our relationships. Kasi, yun nga, stereotypes lang yun. Ano naman pake namin sa stereotypes? I think what would affect the stereotypes though is yung mga gustong pumasok sa amin. Kasi, for example, yun nga, people who think that the varsitarian is this big, rigid institution which has been existing for 87 years old, baka ma-intimidate sila. Tapos, ang problem din sa amin minsan is there are these people who would want to enter Tomasino Web thinking that it's just, you know, all fun. And then, pagpasok nila, madi-disappoint sila na parang, oh wow, merong work, may ganito, may ganyan, very demanding ang editor-in-chief nyo. So, I think it's more sa mga recruits.
Perception of it.
Not really sa
audience
Isa.
talaga.
Okay. So I think we have a third question. The last question for today, raised by a Sebastian interested to contribute to our discussion today. Let's all watch this.
So we have here another Tomasian who has a question for our guests. Hi, what's your name?
AJ Espacio from ICS department.
So ano yung question mo?
When our organization rivalries too much?
Thank you. Back to you, Michelle.
So that was CJ from IICS. When are org rivalries too much? Nagtatawanan ng ating mga guests dito habang pinapanood nila yung question. Pero bakit?
When it gets too shady.
Too shady. Sabay inom. Magbigay na tayo ng examples. Kunwari, ito, sa pag-release ng suspension ng classes, yan. Paano naapektuhan yung rivalries ng mga orgs? When can you say that it is too much talaga?
I think
Exactly yun. So, suspension. Pero rivalry, rivalry, hindi naman siya all negative. So, yung parang nagkakaroon ng conception na pag may suspension, mauuna dapat varsity, mauuna tom web, ganun. Pero, ano ba?
Pero kasi, I mean, in the first place, it doesn't matter kung sino yung
Kung sino
mauna.
nauna.
Kasi, ang kailangan is ma-relay yung
Yes,
information
ma-disseminate
talaga.
At saka in the first place, hindi naman sa publications nanggagaling kung magsususpend ba or hindi. Pero yun talaga yung sobrang laki ng...
And I think,
oo.
Rivalry is too much kapag sobrang public na niya. Like, may away
yes.
online or ano talaga, yung maraming tao, pinagkukwentuhan siya sa usual
Yun
conversation.
nga, when
ganun.
it gets too shady. Like, everyone's throwing shade on Twitter.
Lalo na ngayon, madali na lang mag-screenshots, di ba, ng mga
Yes.
bagay-bagay.
Mali.
Medyo napipil ko lang nagiging intense ang ating usapan. Grabe, ang dami pala talagang opinion tungkol sa rivalry ng mga media organizations dito sa UST. At marami ring naapektuhan ng mga students, hindi lang ang mga members ng student organizations. Dahil dyan, meron pang masasabi si Ruth. Ruth?
Thank you very much for your questions, Tomasians. And don't forget to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/CosmicProdUST and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CosmicProdTV. This has been Ruth Sermonia for Focal Point.
Thank you for all your help, Ruth. It is now time for another break, but when we return, we will watch a documentary about 3 Tomasians and their trials and experiences with student organizations. Don't go anywhere because Point Taken will be right back. Welcome back to Point Taken. During the first part of the show, our guests were able to give their opinions regarding the different issues in student organizations, particularly when we showed them the word rivalry. Angeli answered standards, Mariel said it's about misconceptions, and Save said that it is about a stupid thing na isipin na may rivalry talaga. Pero as you can see, a lot of conflicting ideas came about and paved way to even more ideas. I'm sure a lot of you watching this right now are moved to view this issue in different ways. In just a few moments, we will watch a short documentary. What will you say after watching this documentary? Let us all find out here on Final Take. We have 3 stories for today. Monica Hernandez, the special reports writer of the Varsitarian, James Navarro, the director for special projects of the Tumashan Cable Television, and Joshua Lugti, the assistant chief photographer of Tomasino Web. Let us all watch this.
I am Monica Hernandez, a special reports writer of the Varsitarian.
I am James Navarro, the director for special projects of the Tumashan Cable Television.
And I'm Joshua Lugti, the assistant chief photographer of Tomasino Web.
First impression ko sa Varsitarian, prestigious siya na publication. After all, ayun kasi yung oldest college publication in the Philippines. First year pa lang, interesado na ako mag-try out, kaso lang naisip ko, ang hirap niya maabot. Ang hirap makapasa sa exam. Nagsisisi nga ako kasi nagkaroon lang ako ng lakas ng loob nung 4th year na.
I saw Tomcat a passion-driven organization. Yung tipong it will help me in my future work. Nakita ko na nakakatuwa, kaya ayun, I joined Tomcat.
Nung simula, wala akong masyadong impression sa Tomcat. Wala talaga ako narinig tungkol dito. Pero one day, bigla na lang ako in-invite ng friend ko. Hindi ko man na siya ni-research, pero ayun, sinubukan ko. Pasok naman ako. That was the summer before first year.
What happened when I got in? Ang saya ko syempre. But that was just the start. Being part of the Varsitarian is like a continuous learning process. Nakakatuwa siya at nakakapagod, pero baliwala yun kapag nakikita mo yung mga output, lalo na pag magaganda yung output mo. Sobrang fulfilling niya at sa malaking paraan na bago niya talaga yung takbo ng buhay ko.
I was not disappointed, and I'm glad for it. Kasi masaya siya. The good part with everything was that it has an air of professionalism. It is a good training ground for people like me.
Even though I didn't hear much about Tongweb, I wasn't disappointed. Hindi na siya fun org. It's also an org that cultivates your passion. Kung photography man interest mo, o writing, o illustrations, mag-i-improve ka at ma-apply mo siya. Sa position ko ngayon as a photographer, pinapadala ko kung saan-saan at kailangan ko maghanap ng paraan para makapunta doon.
Stereotype sa pagiging Varsi? Marami rin. Pag sinabi kasi na member ng Varsitarian, madalas ang taas agad ng tingin, which is actually unfair. Nagkakamali rin kasi kami sa pagsusulat. Ang sakit minsan na sa sobrang taas ng expectations nila, ang bilis nila ma-disappoint sa amin. Parang, akala ko ba Varsi ka? Bakit ganyan ka magsulat?
People say, "Uy, Tomcat, magaling yan." Iba yung tingin nila kasi yung content is quality. Nakakatuwa na na-notice nila yung effort kahit gano'n.
Yung pinaka-stereotype sa Tongweb, yung magaling ka daw sa lahat ng bagay. Kapag may project sa klase na related sa the creatives man, o ano, sa akin pinapagawa. Hindi ko naman feel yung iba dun eh. Minsan napipilitan na lang ako gawin yung mga pinapagawa nila. Pero nire-remind ko na lang sila na huwag silang ma-expect. Pero I guess, hindi rin naman nila may iwasan.
In the end, I think wala talagang magagawa sa mga stereotypes. They exist and we're only left to deal with them. For me, nakikisama na lang ako. Alam ko naman kasi yung totoo sa sarili ko and wala ring mangyayari kung makikinig ako sa kanila. Mostly, I just focus on my job. Getting into the Varsitarian was a real blessing. Writing for a publication has been my dream and I think it's better to dwell on that, on my blessings, than those people who misunderstand the nature of our work.
Okay lang yung stereotypes. They don't do much damage. It's you who knows yourself the most. Huwag mo na lang pansinin. Despite the stereotypes, ipupush ko na lang yung sarili ko maging better.
I think it's good to know that these stereotypes may have formed because some people look up to works. Parang pwede rin siyang motivation nasa taas ng tingin nila. Parang na-push kami na abutin yun. Pero overall, I think they're right to focus on work. Kami rin kasi yung pumili pasukin yung mga trabaho na to. Kaya importante na panindigan natin.
There you go. So, what can you now say after watching the stories of members and even fellow heads of your organizations? Totoo ba yun? Totoo, nakaka-relate
Sobra.
kayo?
Kahit yung statement ng hindi from the varsitarian, relate.
Gusto ko yung sinabi ni Joshua, yung since sila yung pumili ng work na yun, kailangan nilang panindigan talaga.
Pero sa bagay kasi yun talaga yung training sa amin. Yun talaga yung in-inculcate na values. That's one of our core values. You know, passion, dedication, innovation. Ano una doon lagi? Passion.
Sobrang cliche nung pag sinabi na yung may responsibility ka, so kailangan mo panindigan. Pero totoo yun eh. Parang kinuha namin to, so kailangan na lang namin panindigan.
Ginusto natin to, no?
Ginusto namin to.
Kasi
kahit
pag-
Luka-luka din
kulang-tulog.
tayo. No?
Pag hindi mo na siya tinuloy, maraming madadamay.
Hindi lang ikaw kasi,
Pati
it's also
yung
the
org.
people that you're serving and
Yeah.
the org din, no?
Okay, so there you go, diba? From rivalries to stereotypes. But the thing is, if you have passion for work, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo sa paggawa.
laban.
Okay, thank you again to our guests for sharing your opinions, and we hope our audience learned a lot today, because today we were able to recognize the different issues and opinions regarding UST organizations, especially media organizations in the university. And as we have gathered, there is nothing wrong with stereotypes and even a little rivalry. Time has proved that rivals and misunderstandings have pushed us to do better, but perhaps it is time for us to finally acknowledge the boundaries of such competition. At the end of the day, we must prioritize the integrity of our duties, of we were the ones that we chose them in the first place. That is all that we have for today's episode. We hope that you learned a lot. Thank you so much to our guests, Angeli,
Thank you.
Myrel, and Save. This has been Michelle Gidugdug. Let us continue to raise a point.
Take a stand.
Listen,
And be open.
This has been
Point Taken,
the finale. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so much. Okay. Thank you, guys, talaga. Sana nag-enjoy kayo.